Hi lovers, this is Carlos Love, and today we're going to be going over a very neutral, very natural look, and it's going to be inspired by the Grammys, which are coming up very soon. I'm not going to be doing it based on any particular person. I'm going to do my own version of what I would do if I went to the Grammys. So it's going to be kind of a different, it's almost a detour of what I'm used to, very dramatic looks and everything like that. I'm going to go very natural. I'm definitely going to do some highlight, and I'm going to start from the base all the way up. So first, what we're going to end up using for the primer, that's going to be below the base that we use as far as the foundation. And for the foundation, I typically like Estee Lauder's Double Wear, and I use Ivory Beige. So we'll get to that point. What we're going to use first is Natural Radiance from MAC's Prep and Prime line, and it's the yellow top, so it's different than the traditional Radiance primer. This one gets rid of any redness, any discoloration on the skin, and I typically mix that in with MAC's Strobe Cream, and I like it in Gold Light. So it has a little bit of gold shimmer to it, and it really brings out that radiance. So by mixing the two, it really kind of takes care of all of my needs in terms of prepping the skin for what we're gonna put on top of it. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with a blender ball. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my primer on with a blender ball. Instead of a brush, I go both routes. So I sometimes use a brush, I sometimes use a blender ball. If it's something quick, fast, and I just kind of want to get the primer done and settled in pretty easily, I go in with a blender ball. So we just let that sit on the skin for a couple seconds. We kind of let it dry, and then now we're gonna be going in with Estee Lauder's, this is actually a sample bottle, but I do have the larger bottle. It is Estee Lauder's Double Wear in the color Ivory Beige. So after the primer has gotten a little tacky on the skin and it's kind of dried up a little bit, we're gonna go back in with the blender ball just to kind of blot it on. And then I'm going to go in with my Morphe MB5 brush to really kind of give it a very finished look, a very polished look. Now what I end up doing next is I'm going to use Estee Lauder's Double Wear Waterproof Concealer, and that is in the color Light Medium. And because of the consistency, depending on how much you use or how much you like to use in terms of concealer, you really only need a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way with this, and it dries very fast. So if you're going to place it underneath the eye, make sure that you place it where you want it. But before we place that, this is a correcting duo that you would go ahead and put underneath the eye. The reason it has two different sides. One has a shinier edge, one has more of a frosted edge. The only difference between the two formulas is that this side with the frosted edge does cover very lightly, so if you just need a little bit of a light cover up for dark circles, this would be your best friend. This side is typically what I like because I like full coverage everything. So this is going to be the side that I use. Now that we've done that, we're gonna now go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Waterproof Concealer, and that is in the color Light Medium. The brush that we're gonna use to go ahead and just put it in place is one that is literally my favorite concealer brush, like I've said in the previous videos, and that's gonna be MAC's 212 brush. It has that flat, very thin tip here. So we're gonna go ahead and blot that on, but typically what I do is I go where the foundation and the correcting duo meet. Then if you really want kind of like a nice final touch, what I am going to do is I'm going to use one of my favorite flared brushes. This is perfect for placement of the powder. So any powder that you're going to put in very small places. It's by AOA Studio, and it is the F19 brush. And I'm going to go in with MAC's Pro Longwear Paint Pot, and that is in Painterly. It is, yes, a primer, but sometimes I just use it as a simple base when I'm going with a very nude look. So what I like to go in with first, and that is going to be my Morphe MB16 brush. Again, from the same brush line, and that's going to be set 513. Now what we're going to end up going in with is, I'm going to go ahead and use a blush. It is a very nice neutral pink tone that is much more natural. I'm going to go ahead and go in with that one with my Morphe MB4 brush. And now I'm going to go ahead and go back in with my concealer brush, and we're going to define the nose a bit. And because it is so fine right here, it's not a fluffy brush, so we just kind of want to angle. When we're placing it, we're going to angle it right in the center of the nose and just kind of tap. Okay? If it's uneven, that is okay, because guess what? We're going to go back over it with what? We're going to go back over it with the blender ball. So once we have it go all the way down to the tip of the nose, we're going to almost create a cross, and then we're going to go ahead and pat that in the middle of the nose. And what that does is it highlights the bridge of the nose, so that when we go to carve that out, which that's what we're going to do next with, again, an AOA Studio E111 brush. So we're going to go in with MAC's bronzing powder, and that is going to be in refined golden. It is just enough bronzer to really kind of blend out without getting too brown. So we're going to go ahead and go into that, tap it out a little bit, and we're going to go into the middle of the nose and bring it all the way straight down. So you want to go right next to where you place that concealer, and we're going to start right about here and bring it straight down to the tip of the nose. Now, the highlight that I'm going to end up using is MAC's Loose Eyeshadow Pigment. It is the pigment color in the color Melon. And let's go ahead and see what we have here, because it is a nice mixture between gold. It has some red in there. It has some pink tones in there. So we're going to go in with the Morphe MB4 brush. We're going to tap into it very, very lightly. Okay. We're going to tap that off a bit because that can get a little bit heavy. And we're going to start right where the apple of the cheek is, right above where we placed that blush. And we're going to tap that in as a highlight. And what I'm doing is I'm going from the apple of the cheek at an angle all the way up and out. Now we're going to use the Morphe MB1 brush, and we're going to buff that out to create much more of a natural highlight. What we're going to end up doing next is we're going to go back in with a lip. So the lip color that we're going to be using today is by MAC's Lip Tensity lipstick line, and this is Clouds in My Coffee. This is a very nice neutral red brown. We're going to go ahead and place that, and we're going to carve that out with a lip pencil, and that was from MAC's Mariah Carey line that they did, and it is called New Ombre. It is a pro longwear lip pencil. Now, because of the creaminess of the Lip Tensity line, that is one reason why sometimes I don't go in with a lip primer. Sometimes lip primers are necessary. So depending on the type of lipstick that you're using, I say use a lip primer all the time. But with Lip Tensity, it is very, very creamy naturally, so it's not going to really dry out the lips. I'm going to go ahead and now go in with the eyeliner. So the eyeliner that we're going to end up using today is by Estee Lauder. It is Double Wear Stay in Place Gel Liner, and I'm going to end up using my MAC 208 brush that I've mentioned before in my previous videos. I have not used the Double Wear Stay in Place Gel Liner, and this is in the color Stay Onyx, so it is black. I have not used it before, but we're gonna go ahead and experiment and do a very, very nice neutral tight line. What a tight line is a tight line goes right across the lash line at the top. It kind of fills in the spaces between your lashes to really make your lashes look very, very full. So what I want to do is I want to create an inner corner highlight and a brow highlight, and the color from a palette that I'm going to use is called Enlight, and that is in the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. It is a very nice highlight. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with that inner corner highlight with the AOA Studio E12 brush. So now what I want to do off camera is I want to go ahead and place a little bit of mascara, and we're going to go ahead and talk about final looks. Alright, so I am back and I have my mascara on. These are my natural lashes. I am wearing a different hat. So the mascara I decided to use is Sumptuous Extreme. Sumptuous Extreme is made by Estee Lauder. Tell me what you guys think. This is a very neutral look for me, as you guys already know. We've gone over everything from the base all the way up. I love you all, and thanks for getting my subscriber count up. Keep bringing them in, letting me know what you guys think, what you guys want. Let me know what you guys think about this look. This is what I would do in terms of a very natural, neutral Grammys look, right? This is Carlos. Love you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Love you guys.